Hi there. So for this part of the video, we are going to look at the if-else statement. Alright, so if-else is a conditional statement that controls the flow of your program. Okay, so let's start by, so before you even start that, let's do ensure that you have connected to the remote terminal. Alright, so then let's hit the list command to test whether everything works. So once your terminal is working, now let's create a new test script. Okay, so in order to do that, you should be quite familiar now. Let's create test3.py this time, yeah? Test3.py. Now the goal of this part is for us to test out the if-else syntax. Alright, so in order to do that, let us create a variable first. So I'm going to create a variable called temp. So assuming this is the short form for temperature. And then I'm going to say 22.1. Okay. So what I've done is I've created a variable here. It's called temp. And then I've assigned it a value 22.1. So I want to print a message based on a condition. Let's say that I come across a condition that anything above 20 is hot. Yeah. Else it's normal, yeah? Okay, so this is a very simplistic argument. So we can write this in code. Let's say we want to print a message. If temp is above 20, yeah, then we put the colon there. The message that we will print, yeah, we can, okay, so now this is a condition, yeah, this is called the if condition. And then the condition is this, temperature greater than 20. So anything greater than 20, we're going to print a message to say that it's hot in here. Okay. Alright, so anything above 20, we're going to print the message it's hot in here. Alright, and then I gave it a tab space, yeah. A tab space. So this code only executes inside here when this condition is true, right? Else, this is what we call the default case. Else, let's print I feel normal. Now this is a simple argument. Okay, so when temperature is 22.1, what happens is it checks if temperature, which is 22.1, is above 20, it's going to print this, yeah. Now I've hard coded the number here if you look at it. So I think most of you should know the answer that it prints this out because temp is equals to 22.1 and 22.1 is greater than 20, which is true, yeah. This condition will evaluate to either a true or a false. Okay, so if it evaluates to true, you'll execute this. If it's false, you'll execute this. Yeah. So given this number, which you already know, the answer is always this. Okay. Now, in real life, when you handle your sensors, you won't get 22.1. You will be reading the value from somewhere. It's like an analog. There'll be some function or library, or some function from a library or module that you might use. Or you might just read straight from a pin on your Arduino. Yeah. So I think it's I spelled analog wrong. Yeah. It's analog. I think it's analog read. I forgot the name of the function. Now we can check the docs if we forgot. Yeah. And then let's say pin A1. Yeah. But I'm not going to do that. Okay. So imagine your Raspberry Pi has a sensor connected at this port called A1. Now you might not know where is A1 right now. In the later parts we will go through all the different ports. Okay, we have only gone through the GPIO ports. We haven't gone through the analog ports. So if it reads a value from your analog port, the temperature will keep changing as the sensor changes. So this code becomes dynamic then. Alright, so this is the function to call to read. Okay, so These are typical type of functions, and depending on the library we use, also the function name will change. So for this example, we're just going to hard code this to 22.1 and then try it out. Okay, see whether our if else works. Okay, so then let's run Python test3.py. Okay, so the answer is it's hot in here. Yeah, because the value is 22.1. So if we change the value to something, let's say 12.1, yeah, this is quite cold. Yeah, but according to our logic, it's normal. Yeah, so I feel normal. Okay, so that's how your if and the else works. Now, there's one more thing that I wanted to introduce about the if-else statement. It's not only if and else. We can chain this to multiple commands, to multiple parts. Okay, so what we mean is this. If temperature is above 20, it's hot. So we can do another check, elif. Elif is another command to say that, let's check another condition, okay? So we can check a second condition. If temperature is above 15, then let's print a different message, yeah? Print, it's cool, yeah? In here. Okay. Now, if temperature is even below 15, I think some of us might feel too cold. Yeah. So yeah. So these are typical ideas. Yeah. Temperature is above 20, we're saying it's hot in here. Temperature is above 15, we say it's cool in here. Because if it's below 20 and it's above 15, then we assume it's cool, yeah, because it will chain through, yeah. So first thing first, it checks the temperature. Okay, wait, let me change my message here. I put I too cold, yeah, it's too cold in here, yeah. So temperature above 20, it prints it's hot in here. Elif or else if, yeah, that's a short form. Else if temperature is above 15, it's quite cool in here. Anything below 15 or below starts to feel cold, okay, according to this logic. So if temperature is 12.1, what do you think is printed? Since temperature is 12.1, it's not above 20, it's not above 15, and therefore it says it's too cold in here. Okay, let's save this value and let's try that out. Okay, and then let's run this code. Yeah, and you see the answer is that. So when we are using sensors like distance sensors like ultrasonic, whether it's too near, too far, temperature sensors, humidity sensors, and yeah, so we are going to cover these few sensors. So whenever we sense something, we can decide what to do based on the readings that we take from these sensors. And this is how we use the if-else statement to try and decide. Now, the conditions are quite simple here. You can actually chain more conditions, but we're not going through all the complex syntax in this part of the course. So this hopefully should help you complete most of the parts of this module.